Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. Today, we're being joined by Lisa Cohn, author of the Bash and Lucy book series. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Are you ready to get started?
I am, and I just want to add that I have a co-author. He is now 11 years old, and together we've been writing since he was 5.
I love it. I know we were talking about that a little bit before the show, where you guys have actually published 3 books based on the series. And why don't you tell us a little bit about the book series, because you talk about one of my very favorite things, and that is golden retrievers.
Alrighty. So I think it was in 2014. It was about 6 years ago. We had a dog named Lucy who died suddenly. She was a golden doodle. She died suddenly of cancer. And it really threw me for a loop because she was 6. She was running with me every day. She was sleeping on my bed every night. And then all of a sudden she was gone. And it was really devastating for me. See, I tear up even now talking about it. And I decided I had been wanting to write a children's book for some time. I work as a writer full time. And so I got started, and all I knew was that I wanted her to be the star of our book series. And then my son, Michael, who's a huge reader, again, he was 5, jumped in and became my co-author. And in the end, my chief marketing agent as well.
I love it, and it's just a great way to keep the memory of your dog, because I know you mentioned Golden Doodle passed away, and you've also have a Golden Retriever as well, and there's just something really special about those types of dogs. I'm very biased because I have my own named Hercules. There's just something really special about those types of dogs.
Yeah, it's really hard. It leaves such a big hole when they leave you, and they leave you as suddenly as Lucy left us. It was very, very hard.
I appreciate you sharing that story with us. I went through something similar with my dog Zeus. He was half Husky, half St. Bernard, and we actually were on a trip to Maui, and we got back, and it was July 2016, and he just suddenly got sick. And within a few days, the vet's like, "We're sorry, there's nothing we can do. His kidneys are shut down. We're going to need to put him down." And they came over to the house and did the service, and I was just heartbroken. But one thing I had to realize is, we got to keep this going, keep taking care of these animals. And we got another animal a short while after that, and he was our first golden retriever named Hercules. And I tell you what, if I ever do a series on dogs, he will be the star of the show, because there is just something, there's something about these golden dogs, I tell you.
Yeah, and they're real hams for the camera, too.
Oh, yeah. They're always posing. Hercules, I think, is probably the greatest photobomber ever, because it doesn't matter where we are. If there is a picture, he's going to be right there in the middle of everything.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, one of the things that we do, and this was my son Michael's idea, he's a big reader and he loves audiobooks. So we also create audiobooks for each book, and we use our voices, the voices of our friends and family members, and then in the last one, we included the voice of our golden retriever,
Nice.
The bark.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you what, let's dig into our questions, and the first one is, I'd like for you to please share with us, what is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
The one piece of advice about writing or marketing, because those are 2 different things.
Absolutely. So the first question, we're going to talk about the writing process, and then as our questions progress, we're going to talk about the publishing process and then the marketing process. Okay.
Well, I think the most important thing you can do while you're writing is have a group of people who are reviewing it, and they should come from all over the place. Because you can send it to your friends and they're going to say, "Oh, it's wonderful," but you want to send it to people who are going to give you some really constructive criticism, and you want to send it to people who are just from all walks of life. And we found that was very, very helpful.
Well, what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
Well, I think the marketing is the hardest part. Um, you mean, and for us, because we self-publish, it's really about getting the books out there, and it's a 24-hour job, and it's really, really fun. But if you've got another job and you happen to be a single mom, it's you only have so much time, which is what I found. But it's very helpful to have my co-author be my son.
So, in regards to editing, formatting, book cover creation, did you find that process pretty smooth?
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with that at all. We worked, first time around, we worked with CreateSpace, and I thought they did a nice job. Oh, we also have a really great illustrator for our books. She's someone we met at a Saturday market in Portland, and she did some caricatures of my kids. And when we were thinking about, okay, who's going to illustrate this book, in the middle of the night, I thought, oh, it has to be Heather. And we've been so happy with her work. So we got a great illustrator. Um, and first time around, we worked with CreateSpace. And I don't think they offer those publishing services anymore. So then I just worked with another company that was recommended by a friend. And again, I think you have to be really careful who you hire because you want really good editors.
Yeah, I think editing is one of the best investments that you can make, and definitely do not edit it yourself. Go out there, find someone, and pay them, because that is one of the best investments. Because your product is your product, and you only have one chance to make a first impression. So having a well edited book really it's critical.
Yeah, it makes a really big difference. And again, before you get to hiring an editor, um, share it with as many people as possible who are willing to read it and give feedback. And in our case, that includes kids, teachers, parents, and anyone else who's interested.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launches that has worked well.
Okay, I'm going to have to tell this as a story. When we began our project, it didn't. We didn't intend to end up writing 3 or 4 or 5 books along with audiobooks. We were just sad and we were writing a book. But my son, he was 5 years old. He woke up one day and he said, "Mom, I really want to get our book out there. It's really important to me." So we decided, we began by doing a blog called Michael's Dog Blog, where and we decided it would be a good idea for SEO purposes, to combine a WordPress blog with a YouTube page. And we thought really hard about what we should do and decided that Michael, because he loves books, should talk about books and talk about dogs. So we did videos of Michael talking about books and dogs. And before we knew it, people were coming to us and asking Michael to review his books. And then I think about 6 months into our project, we were on the Today Show. So that really launched our project big time. And we also ended up, really because of Michael and his cute face and in the fact that he loves to talk, we ended up on all the local media and a lot of national media. This doesn't mean that we made a ton of money. It means we got a lot of credibility.
So you mentioned you used SEO. So you utilize this for the website and also for YouTube.
Yeah, it works really well. So a really good SEO strategy, and I got this from my brother, who's an internet marketing guru. He said the best thing you can do, and I think it's still true, is combine a WordPress blog with a YouTube page, and and link back and forth. Another great place to link to is all the social media, especially LinkedIn. And we did do a lot of work on LinkedIn, and I think that's why people started coming to us and asking Michael to review their books. We were posting his reviews on LinkedIn and all the LinkedIn groups, like children's books or readers or children's lovers. We just put them everywhere. And these were videos.
So with utilizing SEO on WordPress and then utilizing YouTube, then you're using backlinks to basically bounce them back and forward?
Yeah. So in the description on the YouTube page, you want to link back to your blog and your website and vice versa.
Nice. So how were you guys able to get on the Today Show?
We got on the Today. So I work as a writer, and I have worked as a newspaper reporter. So I had kind of a feel for what reporters are looking for. And I think even before we ended up on the Today Show, we had a pretty much a whole page story in the local newspaper with Michael and the dog. It's right in front of me. This, I wish I could show it to you. An adorable picture of Michael and our new dog lying on some grass, and it's called Writing Through Grief. And it was about how we did just that, how we wrote through grief. But I bought a list of national TV shows, and then the person who gave me the list said, if you want to bounce some ideas off me, go ahead. So I bounced a couple ideas off of her, and she said, go with Michael and his YouTube book reviews. Next thing we knew, we were on the Today Show. When I sent out that query, which I wrote myself, the pitch to the TV producers, they got immediately back to me. It was a matter of minutes.
So what was the pitch?
The pitch was that this 5-year-old boy was doing book reviews on YouTube, and people were coming to him and asking them to review his books.
That's brilliant.
And I included a little clip of him reviewing a book, and they're all and his reviews were hilarious.
Nice, and just by doing that did the job.
Yeah, so it gave us
Excellent.
a lot of credibility. It ate up about 3 months of my life with people, emailing us and sending us more books. But I wouldn't say that we made a lot of money. It just got us credibility.
Well, and the cool thing is you got to share your story, and I think that's one of the best things, and sometimes that's more important than money. Get out there and have the opportunity to share your story, and your son gets to be such a young author, and I think that's what really unique hook too, when you got someone that young doing book reviews and being a co-author in a book and sharing a story about their dog. It's just it's a great story.
Yeah, dogs and kids. That's what the person I bought the list from. She goes, you can't go wrong with dogs and kids.
No, you can't.
and he's still a kid. And from there, we actually decided to form a book club and get other kids involved in reviewing books. So we formed, after a lot of deliberation, we decided to call it the Roving Reader Leaders. And we do book reviews, in libraries and parks with other kids. And it's really fun.
Do you guys also do videos as well with that, or is it all in person?
No, they're videos.
Oh, nice.
And we also interview authors. We've done some great author interviews by the kids of their favorite authors.
That is really cool. Well, you weren't kidding. You said you had some very unique strategies prior to the show, and you definitely backed that up. That's great.
So we use the blog, the PR, the videos. And the other thing we did was the very our first book release party, and I think this was before we were on the Today Show. I can't remember. We had a party, and we announced that we were doing a fundraiser for the Oregon Humane Society, which is the big humane society here. And then our illustrator did caricatures of anybody who came and charged something like $10, and we raised a couple $100 for the Humane Society, and also got them a lot of press. So we ended up partnering with the Humane Society. Whenever they have an event, they'll often invite us or ask us if we'll do something with them, which is really nice. It's really nice. That's another marketing strategy, is to partner with a local agency that does good things for people and animals.
Oh, and that's the perfect hook with the book too, with it being about dogs. We're with Humane Society, and then you guys are giving them the proceeds from part of the event, correct?
Right, from our book release parties, we gave them all of the proceeds.
Excellent. Well, speaking of books, I'd like to ask, what is your favorite book, and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
Oh boy, that's not fair. That is not fair. I love John Irving as an author, and I'm not sure which one of his books I think are my favorites, but what I love about his writing is the way it doesn't go in a straight line. It goes all over the place. And his characters are so unique and so real and in many ways so sad. So what did I learn? I learned about the importance of strong characters and lots of feeling and not necessarily going in a straight line.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
Oh, I didn't expect that. My favorite quote. I think that's a tough one. I don't know to be honest, I don't know what my favorite quote is.
It can be anything, whatever inspires you.
Okay, read every day.
Perfect. And I think we know why on that one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of reading and a big literacy advocate.
Well, Lisa, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
Our website is www.bashandlucy.com.
Well, Lisa, thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
All right. Thank you so much. It was fun to be on your show.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how you can be featured in our brand new Get Published business book, go to getpublishedpodcast.com.